Hey guys, what's going on? James here. I wanted to talk about how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won't be using the franchise tag this offseason. Now, I say that for a couple of reasons because I know some people may say, well, James, couldn't the Tampa Bay Buccaneers use the franchise tag on Chris Godwin if they don't agree on a deal? And yes, they could, but the franchise tag cost for Chris Godwin is going to be a whole heck of a lot of money. I believe it's slated to be more than what Justin Jefferson is currently making, and I believe he's making around $30 million this upcoming season. So it doesn't necessarily make a ton of sense to tag Godwin for that much money. And you can only tag players 3 times in their NFL careers, and the more you tag a player, the more that goes up. So right now, I believe it's at 144% value, which has the tag being at that high of a cost, right? So making the tag for Godwin, it just isn't feasible economically at this point for the Bucs in terms of salary cap space, in terms of just all the different types of negotiations. We have talked about the Bucs extending that contract negotiation with Chris Godwin. It's probably because they want to get a longer term deal done because they all know that the franchise tag is not going to be used on Chris Godwin. But after that, there's nobody else to really use the tag on. I mean, like Levante David is the only other super big name that the Buccaneers have in terms of their 2025 free agents this offseason. I mean, I don't think the Bucs are going to be using the franchise tag on Anthony Nelson or Joe Tryon-Shoyinka or Greg Gaines or Ben Bredesen. Now, that isn't to say that any of those guys could come back. In fact, I think a few of those guys are going to come back. Guys like maybe Gaines and Nelson and Bredesen, probably not Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, but you see what I'm saying, right? Like there's no really big names out there in terms of a similar level to like Godwin, or even Levante David to a certain degree, that would make sense for the franchise tag. So I just wanted to make this video to say like, hey, don't be surprised if they don't use the franchise tag. They've used it very sparingly. They've actually had to use it more in past seasons than they've ever had to use it in their time as a franchise. They've used it on Godwin twice. They used it on Shaq Barrett once. Like they've had to use it a good bit in recent memory, right? Just because the negotiations have been hard with some of their top tier players. To be blunt, they don't have that issue that much this season, right? Now in 2026, whenever you have certain guys like Evans' contract being up, Luke Gedicke's contract being up, like maybe you see a franchise tag in that scenario, maybe, but also maybe you don't. So the Bucs kind of are in a pretty good position now in terms of where they are in terms of contract negotiations and whatnot, to where they don't have to resort to using a franchise tag, which honestly is a fine thing, a good thing in my opinion. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions about this down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear it. Would you still use the franchise tag on Chris Godwin even at that insanely high price tag? Let me know your thoughts and opinions. I'd like to hear about it down in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed. As always, guys, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now and go Bucs.